This is Damon Stevens, Finwealth Builders. Today is Sunday, March 6, 2022, and this is Stock Market Prep for Monday. So let's get ready for a new week. And as we do, we'll take a look at the market, see what's going on, see where the opportunities are, and see possibly which way the market will be headed. So in doing that, let's review last week. In the last week, Dow Jones closed down on Friday, 0.53%, Nasdaq down 1.66%, and S&P 500 down 0.79%. So bears are back in place. We had this nice little rally, relief rally, which typically is going to happen in a market like this. You're going to have ups and downs. Market doesn't go one direction only. And so definitely looking at the opportunities there. Also in the heat map here, you can see the techs money was moving out of the techs back in energy, utilities, real estate, and healthcare. So the money's flowing around. Financials, the money came out of as well, which if it's coming out of financials, you just got to be careful because it means the overall market's probably coming down. But you can see energy just continues to just rocket. And we've talked about this for a couple weeks now, that energy is just hitting new highs. It's just blowing the rest of the market away. So we'll probably see that here until at some point it finds a rest, and then money will flow back into the technology and other sectors. But you can see here, as far as you have this nice little W on Dow Jones. So it looks like it's trying to recover at the end of the day, did not. And typically you see this. This is one of the things, I want to be cautious about coming into this next week. Typically when you see this, it almost looks like a double bottom. This looks like a neckline, so very likely it looks like the Dow Jones, on a short-term time frame, might be trying to rally back up. And if it breaks through this level here, it could be an up week, or at least a start of an up week. Same with Nasdaq. Nasdaq did the same thing, starting to curl back up. It would have to break above, this 13.4 to break up. But it looks like it's kind of head that direction. Same with S&P 500. It looks like it's kind of creating that W here, or this double bottom. And so we need to break up above this, this 434 level. So if we get above 434 in the tomorrow, we could possibly have an up day. If it doesn't, then this could be a breakdown and failure, and we could come back down. So just something to pay attention to. I'm watching this. Overall market's headed down, and I'll show that in the charts here in a minute. But this W makes me wonder, on a short-term frame, do we have another bounce here possibly coming this week? So just be cautious, watch the pre-market, and that'll help us understand, are we going to break that 434 level or not? And if not, then I'll probably be shorting the market. Looking at the overall market, you can see BCL just skyrocketed. So, and we're over that 200%. So small caps really came into play into the week, which was just wonderful to see. INDO up there over 100% as well. And we'll talk about that one. I did trade that one. I didn't hit this BCL CL, but I did hit INDO. So let's take a look at some of these charts because they're just great. Just to remember too, we're not financial advisors, and all this information is just for information only, and we're just sharing with you what we're looking at and what we're trading. But the choice is yours. So INDO, you can see here, actually, multi-day trade here. You can see here 1521 back here, 2nd of March. Then you have 2319. Then we kind of consolidated up, and then we headed back up towards, on Friday, we had these little levels. So you could have caught, at pre-market, this was where it was starting to level up. And then even if you caught it, didn't catch that pre-market here in the first few hours, if you missed out, you did fine, because, 32 went from 32 up to 49 and hit the top of this trend line here. So, that's incredible. So over 100% on your money, coming into the early morning to just, late morning and right to the afternoon. And it drop off here and settle back out. So looking to see if this will give a continuation play on Monday. So looking to see if it can hold this, current level where it's at 38. If it gets, back up here above 40, 42, looking for see if we can get back up to that 49 level or even higher. So definitely watching INDO. That's definitely on the short list here. I like that it's staying right on the 20, which kind of makes me nervous, but it's above the 50, and it this been flat. So looking for a play on INDO. So that was just amazing. I didn't catch all this move. I'm a little more conservative than that, but You know, if you caught all this move, congratulations. And you took on a lot of risk, but it paid off. But just incredible. The other one was MXC. So MXC, this didn't give you as much. I mean, you really had one chance on this one, really, and it was more towards, you know, the end of the day. So it kind of rallied up here, kind of was flat about 15. You see here where it was at 15.20 here, back on the second, but then it just exploded on the afternoon, and so it spiked up here, hit the scanner. You know, 23.64 was kind of where you may have seen it. It pulled back here, back down a little bit, retrace this whole breakup candle right here down to the 50 or down to this 100 mark here, and then just rocketed back up to 28.44, back up to this trend line. So and then pulled back again, reloaded, pulled back up to 26. So this thing gave you like 3 chances to really get MXC before, you know, fading off the rest of the day. Now it's below the 20. It showed weakness. It kind of dropped off here. Still above the 50. You know, I have a support line here at 22.69. If we don't break, if we can hold this line, looking for a bounce back up at least to 26 or close to 26. If not, maybe we can rally back up to higher highs. I'm not as confident in MXC, especially with energy so elevated. But we'll see. I'll be watching this one on my short list as well. But definitely a good one for a trade on Friday as well. And then CYRN, this one, it's a little volatile, you know, it's a little dangerous, so just be careful with it if you are trading this one, but it's given lots of opportunities. Back in February, you know, he had this spike to $6, another spike up to $7, up here again to around, you know, $6, then it pulled off. And then here, you can see here that it started to rally back up in March 22nd, or March 2nd. Had a nice little rally back up here. 728 was the peak, pull back again, rally back up to 670, a pull back to 561 on the 200, and then rally back up to 702. So just to this trend line here, and then a pullback, and then a rally back up again to 690. So it just continues to have these little pops. But, you know, this is lower highs, as you see here. So, I mean, it could very well be trending down and fail. But for scalping, great for scalping, but I'm not sure much more than that. And if this continues to drop off, then we may not get more, but another great stock to trade here. As far as earnings, I haven't posted the earnings up. As far as for this next week, I'll post that up on Monday. But definitely looking for earnings to continue. Nothing big that's on my radar yet, but we'll be watching some of these from last week, especially on you know, Friday, to see if there's anything that pops for us on earnings. As far as Google's sitting here kind of flat. You know, a big huge range from the 20 to the 50 on Friday. So big range play here, a little choppy though. So just be careful if you're trading Google. Definitely not a clear direction when you have this kind of range and you kind of close towards the middle. On Tesla's showing weakness here. Closed kind of towards the top part of the lower half of the candle for the day. So a huge range again, unless we break above 900, really looking for 900 for a trend or below 800. So in this chop here, just be careful. It's really easy to lose money if it's in this range and not really getting clear direction. So just be careful on some of these. The same with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's in this chop range as well. Really looking for a breakout above 250 or break down below 222 to really grab one of these. AVGO, so we talked about this one as well last week. Just riding on that 20, really looking for a breakout above, you know, 596 here to rally back up towards 628 or 632. If not, you know, we could be coming down, but just watching that 20, it's trying to build some energy, go one direction or another, but just a little undecisiveness in the market right now. Microsoft sitting here hovering right on the 50. If it breaks the 50, we'll be a shorting that. 288.26 is where the 50 is. If it can break the 20 at 305.42, we'll be taking that long. Apple looking to see if this get, you know, it's been flat. You can see this flat. I mean, really indecision in the market right now. But if we can get, you know, above 170, it'd be taking Apple long. If we break down here, you know, with the 50 moving average down here at 150. So just looking for some direction. So Amazon see here, you can see pulling down more towards pulling down now. So it looks like a failure to try to break out to and hold above this 100 moving average. So you know, if it breaks this 2900 level, which you know we've talked about multiple times, looking for a downside on this to come down to 2850 at least, if not down to you know, below, you know, 2775, maybe this candle here. So looking to see if it can hold support, but if it does break it, then we'll be shorting that. If it can break back up above here and hold for a couple of days, then we'll take this long above 2900. Continue subscribing to us. Definitely like our videos, especially if these are helping you in your trades or giving you at least ideas of what can be traded out there. Looking at U.S. government bonds, you can see here, sitting here towards the bottom, right here above the 100 moving average right now. So bonds are still showing weakness. So you know, as long as these show down, you know, are weak here, then hopefully that'll help us with the rest of the market to be able to, you know, at some point find some stability and try to recover here. As far as oil here, we're just kind of hovering at those highs. So sitting here around, you know, right at 114.95, just right under the 115 mark. It's funny when the market does that. Just wants to show you that it's not ready to burst out to new highs when it does that. So we'll see if it just kind of consolidates here. Might pull back here to 110 or 105. You can see here a little bit of consolidation. It's really got to break above this 115, hold for a few candles at least to show me that it wants to go to 120. So definitely can see it going to 120, 122, unless something happens to the market, some news or something like that. And then we may have a major pullback to at least 105, if not clear down to the 20, which is around, you know, 100, 99.18. So this will continue to creep up here. If it can creep up here over several days and this can hold up here, this will help give us some support. But got a few days here to get caught up here on these moving averages to kind of create that stability. The dollar just continues to rocket higher. So you know, we're at 98, so elevated on the dollar. So that, you know, shows inflation possibly kicking in here, and if that's the case, it could hinder the market. So definitely watch this dollar as it gets close to 100. It's above, you look here, it's above our trend line. So it definitely is elevated. So you can see here 93, 96, and we just popped above that for 2 days. 2 days in a row is pretty strong to possibly rally back up here. So really got to watch the market right now. Don't like what I'm seeing here in the dollar. I don't like what I'm seeing on the VIX either. VIX is, you know, close to 32 again. When it was at 32, that's when we started coming back down to those lower lows. And this spike here just a few days ago where we dropped to the lowest. And so you can see here very bullish momentum going up on the VIX. And I don't, so, you know, very likely we could have a pullback because this is a pretty strong trend climbing up here. So we did kind of close flat, which is indecision, but it is elevated. If Monday we're above 32 and starting to climb back up again, definitely look for a possible down day. The other thing with this indecision, if we have another indecision day, it means the market could be very volatile. So we could have the market drop off and then shoot up during the day and then drop back off again. So just be careful if you're trading right now. If you're not sure what to do, just stay in cash. Stay in cash until we get some things figured out. There's just too much in the news right now that's affecting the market, and it can affect it in a matter of seconds. The market can change direction. So just be careful. Looking at the SPY, and I'm looking at things at weekly. I'm looking at things weekly now because instead of daily, just because I want to see what the overall trend is and make sure that we're in line with the trend. And right now with the SPY, you can see the trend is down. And the other thing this lets me look at is ranges. And so you see here, this 432.17 where we're at right now is really critical. This is at the 50 moving average, and the 20 is up here. So we've got, if we can break above this 432, 433 area, and we break out above this trend line, then I think we can have momentum to go up. If we break below 432, I think 411, 61 is back on our list here. We very well could come back down here and revisit at least this area. And then also down here at 400, which is interesting, we have the 100 moving average. So looking for direction here, either we're going to drop off here or find support to come back up towards that 20. So just looking to see, and right now there's indecision, and indecision creates risk. So just be careful. Triple Qs on the weekly. You can see obviously very strong downtrend, and we've broken below the support line I had here at 339. So we're below support, below the 50, right between the 50 and the 100. It'd be easy to come down to 321 from here. If not, if we try to rally back up, we can get through resistance here. We can possibly get up to 353. So, but definitely downtrend is kind of the direction right now on a weekly basis. Semiconductor, same thing. And you're sitting right on my support line here at 255. Just, it broke below it and then settled back above it. If we don't hold this, we could come down to 247 or even 240 down here. And that's, and down here is where the 100 is, that, 231. So you see here, this could put possibly, a bottom in here, double bottom here, and pop up here this week. But right now the direction is down. So just be careful on that one as well. All the indexes are showing downward momentum right now on a weekly basis. So just gotta be careful out there. Dow Jones, you see these big wicks. Usually when you see a big wick like this, it's usually a good indication of possibly a reversal. But the next day it closed down lower. So we're below that 50. We really need to get back above 339 to take this long. Otherwise, we could possibly be coming back down here towards our trend line at 323.47 or the 100 down here at 317. So right, below the 50, we got to get back above 339 before I'm on Dow Jones. If not, then, you just got to watch this downside and the upside. So kind of in an area of risk. IWM's sitting here consolidating right on the 100. If we break below this 198 level, possibly going to take a short towards the 200, especially if the rest of the indices are headed down. I'll probably be shorting this one. If we can stay above, at least above this, get back above 200, then I'll look at trying to take this back up. But right now, again, flat to down is where everything's pointing, at least right now, unless there's a big fake out coming. XLF is down as well. You can see that it's pulled down here. If it breaks this 36.97, I'll probably looking at a short under the 50. If it can bounce off the 50, then I'll try to ride this back up at least at around 38. If not, try to get up to here closer to 38.80, where the 20 moving average is. XLV is healthcare. See here, we closed up. So it's trying to reverse. It closed above the 20. I like that. So it's good for healthcare to finally rally up here and get above the 20. Really need to at least see a couple days above the 20 here. If we can stay above, this 132 level for a couple of days, and looking for a rally back up to 136 and possibly 141. But really, we got to spend a couple of days above that 20 to show that it's a new trend, or we're starting to head that direction. XLK, so technology, again, facing down, below the 50. So definitely looking for, more downside here, unless we get back above, 151, 152. I will not be taking this one long. I'll be looking for more shorting opportunities. Bitcoin, interesting weekend. Boy, if you want to ride $1,000, it's a pretty good weekend for doing that. Up and down. Bitcoin's been up and down, but you can see here it's trying to recover. It's kind of consolidating this in this range here. It's really got to get, hold a few days above, 44,000 to really try to take this long. If it breaks below 36,000, looking for a short, possibly coming down to this 200. So, but you can see here, we had a lot of support in this range here, this 31.6, and a lot of support right around this 31.6. So if it breaks down here, I'm assuming we're going to get some support here. If it breaks this 31.6, definitely that means we got a lot of negative momentum. Definitely going to be coming down and probably testing at least this 200 moving average. So looking to see, a break below or above. Otherwise, this would be a scalp or day trade. Waves. So Waves is been doing good. Don't know if you've been looking at this or trading this one. Had a nice little double bottom here that we put in, and we broke the neckline right here, and you got a nice rally up here. The high is $20.70. You see we're consolidating, kind of pulling back possibly. As long as we can hold this, hopefully we can bounce off and try to go to new highs again. But we're above all the moving averages on waves, crypto. And so looking at, some possible moves here, if we can get back up above, those 2070, looking for a run up to 2362 and then possibly higher. Luna's back on it. We've traded this many times, but we got a nice little double bottom in here again and broke the trend line up here, got up to 94, 92. Didn't get up to this last high, but we did get above this high here at 85.80. But we pulled back here now, up this breakup candle. We got support right here where we kind of consolidated a little bit. So hopefully we can bounce off of this 80 level. We can bounce off this 80, looking at least to try to retest this 95 level. So we'll see what it does, but seeing if there's a possible play in here. If not, and this continues weakness and we break through the moving averages, we could possibly come back and revisit. So just looking for trends. But that's our cryptos, our stocks. We're looking for a Monday. Looks like could be some great opportunities. Just be safe out there. Know that the indices are headed down on a weekly basis. On an intraday basis, they could possibly, give us bounces back up. But right now, the overall market is weak. So we'll see what this week brings and see if we get some more bounces here. Obviously, the market's not going to just continue in one direction, on an intraday perspective, but on a weekly, definitely has not turned around yet. So the bears are in control. So just remember that when you're trading out there. Everybody have a great night and a great rest of the weekend. And we will talk Monday night and see how you did on your trades and revisit, where we're at and where we're going next in the market.